So, welcome you all in this new video. As we have seen that the devastating images coming from Indo-Nepal border regions, and after that, the Indian government of India has also issued advisory for the regions in Bihar to get safe from such kind of flood kind of situation, which is coming from there in China, then Nepal, and then it can impact our Bihar region. Okay, so this is a very concerning moment as we have seen the devastating flood in Nepal, which has taken many lives and many people are still missing. So let's understand what is this, because this is a very unique kind of hazard which was not timely reported and led to the huge tragedy. Okay, and has taken the many lives. So as we all know, this is the Bhotekoshi river, or which is also called Lende river. Okay, Lende river, and this all started from this river. Okay, first of all, let's understand what is the incident, actually what is happening here. For example, you have seen in the news that, okay, this is a glacier. Okay, and this glacier is stacked, or you can say glued with kind of rocks, okay, mud. And what happened, as the climate is changing and the ice, or you can say de-isolation, आप ये कह सकते हो कि melting of ice, as the melting of ice in the Himalayas is increasing, because of which these glacier, which used to be stagnant there for 12 months, okay, they do not used to slide down. So what happened in this case, this glacier which broke down and fell, for example, this is the river, okay, Lende river. What happened that this glacier fall down from the nearest mountain or hilly regions and get stacked here like this. Okay, okay, let me make it more realistic so you can understand the what I am trying to. Okay, so this is your river. Okay, understand it like this. So now what happened, this Lende river, when this glacier with the rocks and mud gets stuck down here, because of which this here below, sorry, beyond this lake, upward of this glacier, all the water will be stored. Okay, and the point it will be stored when it will create force enough to push this whole glacier and mud with such a rapid force inside that valley. Okay, this is that valley where this glacier was pushed because of the huge accumulations of the water. Sometimes such kind of the lakes we call glacial lakes. Okay, or and this type of events are called glacial lake outburst, where these lakes burst because they create so much pressure, and there is some kind of dam created by this kind of glacier, and the pressure is so high because, and the valley below that is so narrow, because of its speed increase much more, and when it comes with that high speed it take each and everything what comes in its way. Okay, and that led to a form of flash flood, and because of this we have seen this situation. Okay, Zirong, we have seen this is the at the border of China and Nepal, that how this all vanished within the seconds, and then in Timure, okay, then in Siabru Besi, and then it further in the Trishuli river, the flash flood was noticed. Okay, and you can see here in the Dunge in Nepal, this is the image, and these images are so horrifying that what was the intensity of this disaster. Okay, so now we have understood that because of the glacier blocking the rivers at its upfront created a glacial lake, and which created ultimately a huge pressured system, and which pushed that whole glacier and mud with that and created a flash flood condition. Okay, it created a flash flood condition, and now we have understood that this is the reason. Okay, let's dive little bit deep in the scientific reasons of it. Okay, and what's the long term reasons. So you can see like this, and after that government has also issued the notice or warning to the regions nearby Gandak river in Bihar. Okay, There are also chances that the flood can reach to the regions and can take the toll of life. So so this is all about that, how and what is actually happening and what actually happened there. Okay, why this kind of flash flood occurred. And now understand little bit scientifically. Let's see, as we are moving, and for example, this is our Himalaya Parvat. Okay, so this is our Himalaya Parvat, we know it. Okay, and in that Himalaya Parvat we have glacial lake like this. Okay, we have glacial lakes like this. And now when we have glacial lakes like this, okay, let me make it a good border region. Okay, so this is our Himalaya. And now what the new scientific students are saying, that there is increase of cryo. Okay, this you will see a new term, hydrological hazards. Okay, and the hazards which are because of hydrological system. Okay, what is the cryo means glacier. Okay, and ice sheets which are there in the Himalayas, and because of these glaciers there is inclusion with the hydrological system like lakes and river system which comes from that mountains. Okay, lakes, river system. And when, because of the huge melting and fast rate of melting of these glacier included or incorporated with lakes and river which were already there, but because of the huge melting or high rate of melting of the glacier is making these lakes and river led to the hazard in the form of landslide, in the form of flash flood, in the form of, you have seen many times, earthquake also. Okay, so this is the new term which is emerging because of such kind of incident, cryohydrological hazard. Okay, and now what I'm saying you is that this is our Himalaya, and as per the studies, you will see here, as per the 2026 study, Nepal Himalaya documented a jump from 1926 to 2631. Okay, glacial lake has increased from this number to this number within just 2005 to 2024. In this time period, in 19-year time period, the lakes, the number of glacial lake has evolved from this to this. And how these glacial lakes are formed? These are formed because when the glaciers are there, they are melting very fast. Okay, and they create such kind of lakes in many points. And when the such huge number of glacial lakes are there, they are very very vulnerable. Okay, they can split their all water at any point of time if there is a little, even low frequency of earthquake or any kind of disturbance in there, that barricades that we the glacial lake has created. Okay, so this recent survey is saying that with the pace the glacial lake number is increasing, the threat to flash flood, landslide, and other kind of hazardous situation in the Himalayan region is also increasing. Okay, so now the question arises, okay, this thing happened in Nepal. Okay, this thing happened in the Nepal, and now the people are saying that why we should not develop, why we are not developing a integrated, okay, integrated, okay, and you can say communication and awareness system. Okay, see, when such kind of floods today, for example, India, China, these are the major power in these regions. Okay, China and India, they have all their own geopositioning system. For example, we had Navik, they have I forget the name. Okay, and so they have on their satellite system and geopositioning system, and they are such a sophisticated, they can use this system to track all the glacial lakes and all the kind of, natural hazards which can become natural hazards. For example, in this case, people are saying that China did not cooperate or timely informed the Nepal's people or Nepal's government or authorities regarding this kind of flash flood. Okay, and still China and many reports are saying that they are, hiding the reports of disaster, or you can say life toll, or any kind of loss which has happened inside the Tibet. They are hiding it. Okay, and India can also use its Navig system and other kind of Indian meteorological departments equipments to measure all these disaster, because natural disaster is never limited to the one region, because we are connected by the rivers, by the climate, by the geography. Okay, so we cannot be isolated, or we cannot isolate Nepal from ourselves. So for long term, integrated, and you can say a fast communication and awareness system must develop China, India and Nepal to deal with such kind of things in future. Otherwise they will occur time and time, and we will get regretted, and we will tear some, you know we will flow, we will put some tears there. But at the end, it's all about developing a long term strategy that is only possible with the integrated communications and awareness system between China, India and Nepal. And however, India and China also have the largest and the biggest positioning system after US. So we must use our satellite technology to counter any kind of the future threats coming from there. Thank you so much.